Welcome to the channel guys, my name is Everything Internet, and in this video we are covering the story of Steve Jobs and how he became the CEO of Apple Computers. Steve Jobs was born on the 24th of February 1955 to two graduate students who gave him up for adoption. Jobs was unnamed at the time, and it wasn't until age 27 that he was able to uncover information about his biological parents. He lived with his adopted family in Mountain View, California, which would later be known as Silicon Valley. As a boy, Jobs and his father would work on electronics in the family garage. His father, Stephen Paul Jobs, showed his son how to take apart and reconstruct electronics. This was a hobby that instilled confidence and mechanical prowess in young Jobs. While Jobs was always an intelligent and innovative thinker, his youth was riddled with frustration over formal schooling. In elementary school, Jobs was a prankster due to extreme boredom, so much so that his 4th grade teachers would have to bribe him into studying. Jobs performed exceptionally well in tests, resulting in administrators wanting to skip him ahead to high school, a proposal his parents declined. After high school, Jobs enrolled at Reed College in Portland, Oregon. However, lacking direction, he dropped out after 6 months and spent the next 18 months dropping in on creative classes at school. Jobs later recounted how one course in calligraphy developed his love for typography. In 1974, Jobs took a position as a video game designer with Atari. Several months later, he left the company to find spiritual enlightening in India, traveling further and experimenting with psychedelic drugs. When Jobs enrolled at Homestead High School, he was first introduced to his future partner and co-founder of Apple, Steve Wozniak, who was attending the University of California, Berkeley. In a 2007 interview with PC World, Wozniak spoke about why he and Steve clicked so well.
So Steve came over and we met on the sidewalk, as I remember, and we just started asking each other, what did you do? What pranks did you do? And I would tell which ones I did, and then what you do, you know, what have you done with electronics? And he built this, and I've designed all these computers, and we just hit it off. And then we merged into other topics that young people are into.
In 1976, when Jobs turned 21, he and Wozniak started Apple Computer in Jobs' family garage. They funded their company venture by Jobs selling his Volkswagen bus and Wozniak selling his beloved scientific calculator. Both Jobs and Wozniak are credited for revolutionizing the computer industry by making machines smaller, cheaper and accessible for everyday consumers. Apple began marketing their computers for $6,666 each. The Apple I earned the company around $774,000. In 1980, Apple became a publicly traded company. This was when Jobs looked to marketing expert John Sculley of Pepsi-Cola to take over as CEO of Apple. The next several products from Apple suffered design flaws, and in 1984, Apple released the Macintosh, which despite positive sales, was still not IBM compatible. Sculley believed Jobs was hurting Apple, and the company executives began phasing him out. As Jobs did not have an official title in the company he co-founded, Jobs was pushed away and eventually left Apple in 1985. After leaving Apple in 1985, Jobs began a new hardware and software enterprise called Next. The company struggled in its attempts to sell specialized operating systems to mainstream America. However, Apple eventually bought the company in 1996 for $429 million. In 1997, Jobs returned to Apple as a CEO and was credited for the success the company had in the 90s, as he was for Apple's success in the 70s. With new management and only paying himself $1 a year, Jobs was able to get the company back on track. Through effective branding campaigns and stylish designs, Apple caught the attention of consumers once again. Almost immediately after Apple released the new products such as iPhone, iPod and MacBook Air, competitors scrambled to produce comparable technologies. In 2011, Forbes estimated Jobs' net worth was roughly $7 billion, which they believe would have been a staggering $36 billion if he hadn't sold his Apple shares in 1985 when he left the company. In 2003, Jobs discovered he had a neuroendocrine tumor, a rare but operable form of pancreatic cancer. For 9 months, Jobs postponed the surgery until 2004, when his surgery was successful in removing the tumor. Jobs passed away on the 5th of October 2011. He was only 56 years old and battled pancreatic cancer for nearly a decade.